So that was General Mosquito, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, addressing supporters of the NDC there, and he says that they will continue to solidarize with their brother Koku Anyido, who is in police grip. And he says that tomorrow's demonstration, this has even charged the people for tomorrow's demonstration, but he still continues to say that they are law-abiding citizens, and so they will ensure that they will abide by all the rules and regulations guarding the demonstration. Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso joins us on the phone. He is a security expert. Good evening to you, Doc. Many thanks for joining us on PM Express.
Good evening.
Doc, we all heard the comment from the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Koku Anyido, and that has landed him into this trouble. What do you make of his arrest?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation because if we really want to consolidate our democracy, this is not the way to go. We've had instances in the past where such utterances have landed people in trouble, and we reached there because we are very indisciplined where our governance system is concerned. We just believe that when your government is not in power, you begin to say whatever you want, and when your government is in power, you have people who say whatever they want. I believe we need to be maturing in our democracy. If we are not going to do that, then I believe that our democracy is going backwards instead of going forward.
So, Doc, should we be worried that we're currently experiencing an era where politicians are accused of wrongdoings, and when the law is taking its course, they seem to be interfering with the procedure?
Yes, we should be. We should be extremely worried. As usual, I've been writing articles against such situations. Where I named one of my articles, "Deterring Democracy in Ghana." I was terrified and awed when the law was trying to take its own course, and you have politicians, well-respected politicians, ministers of state, taking their pens and demonstrably, showing to all of us the defiance by signing a petition to the former president. So where are we going? What about Kwame Mensah in a certain typical village who steals some pawpaw or some orange or some bananas just because he's hungry? Is there anybody to sign a petition to the government? But when miscreants, people who really do not want the peace, misbehave just because they belong to a certain political party, they will have a right to do what they want. I mean, we need to get out of this, and because of indiscipline. And again, as I've already said, much of the time it is because there is a lack of constitutionalism in this country. There's lack of institutionalism. We don't respect our constitution, and we don't respect our institutions. When you do this to these things, institutionalism and constitutionalism, democracy is derailed. And we should be very, very, very careful. Because other than that, politics interferes in the running of the country democratically.
Doc, we saw this yesterday. We saw it at the court when Dr. Opuni was in court for trial. We've seen it today. It doesn't look like it's ending anytime soon. How do we nip this in the bud?
We really have to allow the institutions of state to work the way they should work, according to the remit of the Constitution. I've always said it a million times. You have a politician being sent to court, and it turns political. And so I'm saying, what about that Kwame Mensah in the village who supports him? Fine, you could go there and be part of the court. There are some people who have made it their, whatever it is to be at the court always, either they are studying or whatever it is, or they are supporting, or they are giving some kind of moral support to their friends. But then it shouldn't turn into a political rally. It shouldn't turn into a kind of demonstration that shows that crime is being politicized, that crime has gotten political color. If it were the other side, then no problem. Or if the person doesn't belong to it, then no problem. We need to nip it in the bud through institutionalism. Unfortunately, most of our institutions begin to play the political card also. I gave several examples some time back. My own very good friend, Takishikata, for example, was arrested in the church when I think government has not asked the BNI to do so. My question is, if it is true that Chachu had committed some crime, when he was committing the crime, when his government was in power, why did the same BNI not pick Chachu at the time? Now, fast forward, my friend again, Asabi, when he was in power, why did the BNI not pick him, but waited until the government, the NPP was over, and then they picked him at the airport. This doesn't bode well for institutionalism. The institutions of state must work according to the remit of the Constitution. Period. If I am a thief, now, please pick me. Don't wait until my government is out of power.
Before
so
you pick me.
The institutions of state must work neutral. They be neutral. If they do that, then these things cannot happen.
All right.
Have to have political color.
Many thanks to Dr. Vladimir Antwi-Danso, is a security expert, and he says that crime must be treated as crime. It must not be painted with political colors. Back to the studio, Lawyer Daudu. We talked about high treason, we talked about treason, but before we even attempt to understand what that means, where is your client? Do you know where he is?
Oh, I believe my client was handed over to the BNI. So he's in custody, and I'm sure with the BNI. So we will wait patiently and see when the instruction is ready for him to be granted bail.
From the above
or not, then we can see what the law, the remedy that we can pursue.
But of course, according to the law, he cannot be there for more than 48 hours.
What makes me smell some elephant in this matter is that, you see, when we were asking the police, they should give us the exact charge. Why we've been invited. You know, earlier on, the Minister of Information said that this is treasonable offense, we should do this. So we were asking, what is the charge? They couldn't even tell us what was the charge. Until we had to go for the search, came back, they said causing panic. This is, I said, okay, we'll read. So what does it tell you? And you know, they repeated the same thing as that was said, that he made a statement, it's treasonable charge, and this. And I said, what statement? Because my client, in his duties, daily duty, he grants interview, he makes statement. So which particular statement are you talking about? They could not even tell us until they said the statement was made yesterday.
So by treason, what do they mean? What does the law say about treason?
No, treason actually means that you want to levy war against the state.
Okay.
You are conniving with another state. You want to use force of arm. You are inciting others or assisting that state to make sure that you overthrow or remove the organs of government. So remove parliament, overthrow the constitution, that is the law, and some policies.
So what's the difference between high treason and treason?
High treason uses the exact word that you overthrow. When you overthrow or abrogate the constitution. It's just like, so that especially tells you about military coup d'etat.
But if somebody is successful in high treason,
no, because when
be
normally
able to be arrested because he's already overthrown the government.
Even the same constitution tells us that if anybody comes and overthrows the government or abrogates the constitution, any counter coup d'etat overthrowing those people, it is right, it is legitimate. You cannot be punished for that. The constitution gives us that power. So if anybody comes through an illegitimate manner and overthrows, we as citizens have the right to overthrow such a person. And it is perfect in accordance with the constitution.
May I ask a question? May I ask a question? Does the media have any responsibility with this interview that they did?
Which of the interviews?
The Koku and Idaho's interview this
Does the
morning.
media have any responsibility?
Yes.
How do you mean by that?
Would
in checking and guarding what people say?
If it so happened that when he made these statements, the host who was hosting the program stopped him and walked him out of the studio.
I think that the host was also trying to caution him that what you are saying is dangerous.
Yes, so what you're saying is dangerous. End the interview. End the interview. Don't go ahead and ask further questions. Because you know what that implication is as a media person. You know how that can incite others. So any politician who comes and sits on your media platform and says certain things that are even deemed reckless, walk him out.
Definitely. I mean, that's what the code of conduct says.
Yes, but we are not practicing it today with our media.
Of course, I can't speak for all the media houses. I can speak for multimedia. And again, I think I heard the journalist or the presenter cautioning him that, hey, Asama Wuke, it's serious, it's dangerous. And he kept going on and on.
He could have said more.
Right.
He could have said more.
So
Asama Wuke, dangerous.
We don't know at what point.
Right.
So, looking at treason, what comes with treason, if indeed you're charged with treason, Jantwa? Death.
Yes. Yeah, you suffer.
That's the penalty.
Yes.
High treason, you suffer death.
You suffer death.
Well, we'll take
we saw it with the 8 generals, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes. It's death.
Okay. We'll come back after this break and look at what next for Koku Anyi-Dawo, who is currently with the BNI. Welcome back to PM Express. Let me go straight to Lawyer Dawudu. What next for Koku Anyi-Dawo? We know he's with the BNI now, and we also know the police cannot keep him for 48 hours, but we know that police is not granting him bail.
Yes, we will allow the law to take its own course. If they decide that they will keep him over 48 hours, the law tells us what to do.
What does the law say?
Oh, the law, we have to go to court. The law says that they have to take us to court. If they want to keep him over 48 hours, they have to go to the court. And if the court seek the court that we want to detain him and do investigation, if what they present before the court is satisfied, the court would. If the court is not satisfied, and the court has the discretion to grant bail.
Lawyer Danso, briefly, we're running out of time. How do we guard against some of these comments you have said is reckless? Briefly,
politicians
run out of time.
Politicians should stop talking the way they talk. They should stop it. It doesn't help us. Look, we have important things to take care of in this country
than to make
such reckless comments. And I always say the media has a responsibility to stop politicians from talking the way they talk sometimes.
The politicians also must be responsible. Mr. Dawudu,
yes,
finally,
I would say
not
that
responsible. You wanted to make a point.
Yes, Koku's spirit will be with the people to demonstrate tomorrow. He has been an organizer, although he might not be there physically. But I'm sure that
with
the
demonstration
will come on, and it will be massive.
So it's just started. Koku is not sleeping in his house tonight, but what happened to him next, you just heard from his lawyer. We'll follow it to the last minute, and we'll update our viewers on all of this. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.